Alright, in this video I'm going to show you guys a new carry gun that I picked up, which is going to be replacing my Glock 19 in my carry rotation. And this is the SIG P365 X-Macro TACOPS version. So I'll explain what all of that means as we go through the pistol. So upon opening the box, I have already carried this gun. I have gone out and shot it and tested it. So this is not a true unboxing. This is more so just showing you what all the gun comes with. So here we have the pistol itself, which I have added a couple of things to that I will point out. But the premise of this gun is that it is a larger version of the P365, even more so than the P365 XL. And what caught my attention about this gun is that the magazines hold 17 rounds standard capacity. So 17 rounds plus one. In a pistol that is roughly the same grip length and slide length as a Glock 19, while maintaining a much slimmer profile and about 2/3 the weight of a Glock 19. So there's really no downside to this over a Glock as far as dimensions and comfort and carryability goes. So you actually get 2 more rounds and a pistol, in my opinion, that's much more comfortable to carry. You also get a standard optic cut from the factory. This is cut for the hollow sun pattern red dots, including this EPS carry, which I have added. So secures with these 2 screws. The iron sights are SIG brand suppressor sights for their P series pistols. So these are actually the same sights that would go on a P320 or a P226. You can see the front and rear are dovetailed in. So what I've noticed with these sights is that they actually cover a bit too much of the window for my liking. These are almost a full co-witness set of sights for this particular red dot. So I've actually ordered a different set of sights that are going to be more of a lower 1/3 co-witness, and I'll insert a picture of what that's going to look like and the brand of those sights here. But yeah, so there's a few things that kind of drew me to this pistol. I have always liked the P365 as a platform, but the original P365 is much too small for my hands. As many of you have been so kind to point out in my previous videos, I have very, very large hands. I'm 6'8", I'm a very large person. And the 365 and even the 365 XL are just simply too small for my hands. I can't get a comfortable grip, and I'm constantly having to readjust my grip as I shoot them. But something I do like about the 365 is, despite its size, it shoots more like a full-size pistol. You can shoot plus P ammo without getting that overly obnoxious, snappy recoil that a lot of pocket pistols tend to get. So, but with the 365, and particularly the TACOPS version of the X-Macro, this has completely alleviated that issue. This is about as small of a pistol as I can physically carry while still being able to maintain a firm purchase on the gun. And it's partially thanks to this Magwell that SIG has included. This Magwell acts as kind of a shelf on the bottom of the grip that forces my pinky upwards instead of allowing it to slip off the bottom. And so that, to me, has been a huge benefit, along with the fact that, you know, it aids in reloads, funnels the magazines into place quite nicely. And something else I'd like to point out is that on the X-Macro version, which I don't believe it's like this on the on the TACOPS version, I don't believe it's like this on the regular X-Macro, you actually get 4 magazines in the box. And as you can see, these are loaded with Spear Gold Dot plus Ps. You get a speed loader from SIG, which is very helpful for loading these magazines. These, I believe, are the same company making these for SIG as the Shield Arms magazines that are made for the Glock 43X and 48. And just like those magazines, these are kind of a pain to load those last couple rounds in. They're really stiff, and you're really cramming those last couple rounds in there. The gun does function just fine. I've had 0 issues with feeding or, you know, loading the pistol. I would recommend a better speed loader than the one that comes with it. This one is sufficient, but not very fast. But something to consider is if you're going to leave this pistol in a state where you don't have a round in the chamber and you're going to have to rack it prior to shooting it, racking that first round in is kind of stiff, and I don't know if that'll get better as it breaks in, but that is something that I noticed, is putting that first round in, you really have to wrench on it to get it open and close it. And if you ride the slide forward with your hand on that first round, you will more than likely induce failure to feed. So it's best to open the action, put in your magazine, and then close it to load that first round. So just a word of caution to those of you who don't carry with one in the chamber. This may not be the best pistol, or you may want to download 1 or 2 rounds out of the magazine to make racking that first round in easier. So also in the box, you get a couple of back straps, which is nice. I have the largest size back strap currently installed in the gun, but you also have a small and a medium. The texture on these is really nice, actually, compared to the textures that Glock does. I like this much more than the standard Glock texture that's on the Gen 4 and 5 pistols. And it's just a touch less grippy than like an RTF2 pistol from Glock, which I actually like because the RTF2 guns tend to tear up your undershirts and wear holes in them. So this is kind of a really good balance for a carry gun. So the last thing I'll talk about is the trigger. Just like the other P365s, this does use SIG's modular trigger unit system. So the actual trigger unit is considered the firearm. So we'll do a takedown on this really quick. And I'll just show you that. So this trigger unit, which you can remove just by punching out this one pin and it'll lift up out of the gun, that is the firearm itself. And so you can move that from one grip module to another. You can swap slides and do all that and still only have technically one firearm that you're just swapping accessories on. So that's just like on the P320. That's kind of SIG's new direction they're moving. Wilson Combat supposedly is making a grip module for this, which I am very interested in trying out. Wilson Combat has already made grip modules for the P365 and the P365 XL, and people online, from what I hear, love them. They're even more ergonomic and have a slightly grippier texture than the standard 365, and they're relatively affordable. So, you know, go SIG for, you know, including this design, which allows you to cheaply switch out the grip module. The trigger pull itself is not bad. I'd say it could do with a little less take up because it has about all of that travel before you hit the wall. And then once you hit the wall, you've got about, I'd say, a 5-pound pull. And it's a good trigger. It's not the best I've ever used. It's, I'd say, slightly better than your average Glock trigger. It's not bad. I just wouldn't mind seeing that take up kind of already taken out and more of a short pull. But it is a flat face trigger, which I'm a fan of. And if you have really short fingers, you might actually have trouble reaching all the way forward because this trigger does kind of sit farther forward. But you can swap these out with other trigger units. There are aftermarket ones available online. So that is about it on this pistol. Just wanted to show you guys that. And actually, I have one more thing to show you. The holster I'm going to be using for this. I have a couple different holsters, but this will be my primary carry holster. It is a Crossbreed Mini Tuck, which you can see I've already kind of modified and molested to fit my bigger hands, you know, a little bit better. So even though Crossbreed does sell this with a combat cut where this is kind of scalloped out, it wasn't quite wide enough for my hand to comfortably slide in and grab the pistol. So I just opened this up even a little bit more. And then actually another thing I noticed was with the red dot sight, if I used the holster as it was set up from Crossbreed, the red dot would actually have to go slightly down into my pant line in order to completely secure the pistol in the holster. So it would sit more like that instead of all the way down, unless I kind of pulled my pant leg open and pushed the red dot down too. So I've actually modified these clips to sit up a little higher, or rather sit a little lower, which pushes the holster up higher and gets that red dot completely clear of my pant line. So I've been using Crossbreed holsters for a very long time. They're very comfortable. After a long time of wearing them, they break in and kind of conform to your body. They're not the quickest to get on and off, but I'm not necessarily worried about that myself. You know, once it's on for the day, you know, personally. But there are lots and lots of holster options for these out there. both inside the waistband, outside the waistband, even some more like duty style holsters. One thing to keep in mind is the standard P365 holsters and the XL holsters will not work because you have an actual Picatinny rail on the bottom, unlike those pistols. So that is about it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and thank you guys for watching.